Hi everybody. Still have a couple of minutes to go. I'm setting up here. This looks a little different than it used to. I used to be able to make it go full screen, and I guess I can't now. Anyway, okay. Get yourselves set up, and I'll be back in a little bit. Uh, Alright, well, I'm not going to be able to see myself full screen, but that's okay. Alright, guys, we got a couple of minutes, and then we'll get started. Hi, everybody. It is Wednesday at noon, and so welcome to Wellness Wednesday. My name is Dr. Debbie Pates, and I am a psychologist at the UCCS Wellness Center, and I have been offering yoga classes on Wednesday at noon for a whole lot of years now. And recently, not really recently, also, this has been brought to you guys in years past through a partnership between the Wellness Center and the Galleries of Contemporary Art, GOCA, on campus. And galleries are closed right now, so we're doing this wherever we can. I'm going to turn my phone volume off, but I'm going to keep it so that I can keep track of our time here. And let's see. I introduced myself. I talked about Wellness Wednesday. Why don't we just get started and do some yoga? You know, I did want to say one thing, which is if you guys feel inclined to make a comment or make suggestions, I do read them and I do try to incorporate the feedback. I value being able to provide the best service to you guys as possible very much. And your feedback and comments to me are really the most direct way that I can make any changes. So if you have any suggestions or comments or questions even about yoga, or certainly questions about the Wellness Center at UCCS, please send me an email. You obviously know my Facebook page here, so you can send me a message, whatever. Anyway, without further ado, why don't we get started in child's pose. So bring your forehead to the mat. And maybe you separate your knees. Maybe you keep your knees together. Have your feet be together. And let your head rest. I'm not going to stay in child's pose myself because then my voice is even more muffled. But start to breathe really consciously. Start to settle in, creating this sacred space of yoga for yourself. And allow yourself to tap into your mental state. How are you doing right now? How are you feeling? We're all living through this seemingly never-ending morphing of the COVID-19 virus. And, it was pointed out to me that everything ends, right? Even when we have like a natural disaster kind of thing, even let's say the Waldo Canyon fire, right? It was tragic, absolutely. But it had a beginning, a middle, and an end. And even though for a lot of people the end was rebuilding and buying things and adjusting, there was an end. And in what we know of COVID, there isn't an end. It just keeps growing and shifting and changing, and the information we know gets conflicted by different information, and we don't know who to believe. And it's not that certain people, it's not that we can't believe them, but the information, like the chancellor making, we're going to open campus back up, and then that changes due to new health information, or it's going to open up this way. And so this is very unsettling, and I want to acknowledge that. And I invite you to acknowledge it for yourself, right? So chronic stress increases our cortisol. Some of us are experiencing this stress more directly than others, maybe due to our circumstances, maybe due to our individual makeup. But I invite you to, in this child's pose, while you're breathing, and while you're consciously working to stay calm, I want you to give yourself a break, because there is no new normal yet. You're still transitioning and figuring it out. And so please be kind to yourself in this yoga practice, and then more importantly, off the mat where it really matters. So given that our world is so crazy, we're going to do a practice that is pretty familiar to most of us. Push up onto your hands and knees. Hands under your wrists, knees under your hips, cat-cows. And so familiar doesn't need to mean easy. Familiar doesn't mean there aren't challenges in the practice. And you are invited to meet these challenges in the way that suits you best. My recommendation to you is that you work really consciously to meet the challenges calmly, to develop a sense of equanimity with in. Challenge. That's the gift of our yoga practice. So that doesn't mean there will be no challenge in this practice. Come on, back to neutral. Step yourself into a high plank position. Doesn't mean there's going to be no challenge in this practice. And so maybe part of what we can work on is, I know, right? Here's a challenge right now. We're holding high plank. Being calm in the midst of the challenges. Being calm in the midst of the changes. Lift your hips, down facing dog. Because we don't control that, do we? We don't control what other people in our lives are doing. We don't control whether people out in the supermarket are wearing masks, although thankfully increasingly more are. We don't always control how our family members feel about this, but we do have an opportunity to become aware of our own reactions, our own responses, and what we want to do with that. Take a bunch of baby steps up to the top of your space. Maybe you're practicing outside on this very beautiful, humid, but not too warm day. Do a halfway lift. Put your hands on your thighs and roll your shoulder blades up onto your back. And really, not really pushing into your thighs, but imagining you're pushing into your thighs. Engage your stomach muscles and reach the crown of your head forward. Try to really lengthen your tailbone back, getting a flat back. Engage in front, and now you probably feel firing up the back of your core as well. And then forward, fold. And now let's roll up to standing. Stacking vertebra upon vertebra. Soft is okay. And then when you get to standing, shoulders up, back and down. Maybe do that a couple of times. Maybe do that a couple of times. And then come to neutral. I wasn't going to do this, but my body's calling for it, so maybe your guys' are too. I don't know if you can see me. I'm going to come down to my knees. You could come down to your knees or stay standing, but drop your chin to your chest. Maybe even take your hands clasped behind your head. Let your elbows come down by your ears, not pulling, just letting some extra weight increase the stretch if that feels nice to you. And then release and roll your head around in one direction. So you're standing at the top of your mat, or if you want, like me, you're kneeling. I only knelt because I didn't think you guys could see my head. Keep breathing. Switch direction. So maybe already here is a challenge to stay calm in a difficult moment. Maybe your neck is tight. Maybe you're eager to do more movement. Maybe I don't know what. Or maybe you're just enjoying the stretch. It's rolling. Come on back to center. Inhale your arms up. I'm going to stand up again. Grab your left wrist with your right hand. And exhale over to the right. So your bottom hand, your right hand, is pulling your top hand. You think about opening up your chest, your heart, your left armpit. Come on back up. Inhale. Stretch up. Grab your right wrist with your left hand. Push your right hip out as you pull your right arm over. And maybe think about not collapsing your chest down, but trying to keep your chest open. That's kind of what I mean by opening up your armpit. It sounds silly if it doesn't make sense in your mind. Come on back up. Squeeze your shoulder blades together again, and this time open your heart. Elbows by your sides. Palms up and open. Receive. Open your heart. Inhale your arms up. Sun salutation A, just straight forward. Uttanasana, forward fold. Halfway lift, lengthen. Put your hands down, step back, high plank. Lower, halfway or all the way. Chaturanga or laying on the floor. Upward facing dog or cobra. Downward facing dog and breathe. Really breathe here while you have the chance. Breathe. Inhaling fully, exhaling fully. Look in between your hands and step, jump, hop to the top of your space. Halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Sweep your arms up, rise with a flat back. Bring your hands together over your head and pull your energy into your heart. Even more now than ever. What would happen if you lived from your heart? Inhale, your arms up, exhale, fold, fold. Halfway lift. Step back, high plank. Try to alternate feet as you step back, lower, halfway, or all the way. Up dog or cobra, downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Let your heels sink down toward the earth. Feeling the stretch that allows. If you are one of those people that is really easy to put your heels down on the ground in downward facing dog, which is not most of us, maybe walk your feet even further back and see if you get a better stretch through the backs of your legs, Achilles, calves, that way. And also notice, even if you didn't have your heels on the ground, and if you tried that, notice that decreases the stability of your down dog and increases the engagement you need through your arms, your legs, and your core. Look in between your hands, make your way to the top of the mat. Half lift. Fold. Rise. Hands overhead. Palms together. Palms into your heart. One more sun egg. Lift. Fold. Rise. Fold to plank. Lower. Lift. Down dog. Look in between your hands and make your way to the top of your space. Halfway up. Fold back down. Sweep your arms out. Engage your core, stomach muscles. Rise up, bring your hands together at your heart, overhead, and then bring your hands to your heart. Inhale your arms up. Chair. Utkatasana. So tuck your navel in a little bit, but not so much that you take the curve out of your low back. Bend your knees up to 90 degrees. Note that this is a challenge in your upper body and your arms, but if it's creating gritting your teeth or, choppy breath, then maybe take a different arm position. Perhaps you bring your hands in line with your heart or hands at heart center, or you challenge yourself to remain calm in this position. Fold, fold. Actually, okay, forward, fold, halfway lift. I forgot what I wanted to do. Forward, fold, Utkatasana again. Okay, clasp your hands behind your back. You're in chair still. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, open up your heart, and then bow forward. You might want to take your feet about hip width distance for stability, and let your hands come off your back. So we're going to move into Agni Namaskar. This is very challenging. Release your hands, halfway lift. Put your hands down on the floor and step back to high plank. So for a moment here, actually drop your knees and come into child's pose. So Agni Namaskar is a flow that was created by a yoga teacher named Shiva Ray. And it involves 3 sets of 12 push-ups done 3 times, which equals 108 push-ups, and 108 is sort of a magic number in yoga. Right now I don't remember why, to tell you the truth, but we're only going to do 1 set, so that's going to be 3 sets of 12 push-ups. So sitting here in child's pose, or if you're in a different posture that you chose to take, just check in with yourself. You can do less than 12. You could do the 12 with your knees on the floor. You can challenge yourself, but whichever choice you make, do it calmly. Okay, from child's pose, come on back. High plank. Take an arm position. So we're going to do this 3 times. Maybe this time, have your hands underneath your shoulders and turn your elbow creases to face the front. And then on an inhale, exhale, ready, let's go. Up to 12, knees on or off the floor. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And now drop your knees. Come into Anahatasana, puppy dog pose. So you can even walk your hands forward a little bit. You can even come up on your fingertips and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Opening up through your chest, stretching the muscles we just used. Breathe. And then scoot through. Upward facing dog or cobra. Roll over your toes. Downward facing dog. So I'm going to just take you guys through a pretty traditional version of how she does this. Lift your right leg up. Bring your knee through, your leg through rather. Heel under your knee. We're going to come into crescent lunge. Keep your left heel pushing back. Lift your arms up. First, let's find crescent since this is our first one here. Bend your right knee. Send your left heel back with your left hip point forward. And then clasp your hands behind your back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Open up your heart. Open up your chest. Open up your mind to the possibility of this next set. And then bring your hands down. Maybe you choose a different hand position. I'm going to angle my hands in a little bit, almost creating a diamond in between my thumbs and forefingers, although not that close. Step back. Prepare. Go. 1, 2, 3. Drop your knees if you need. 2, 4, 5. Stop early if you want. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Knees down. Puppy dog pose. Anahata, your heart, open it. Maybe squeeze your elbows toward each other. It's okay to be breathing heavily. It's not okay to be panicking. It's definitely not okay to be saying mean things to yourself. If you are doing the best that you can do, what more can you ask of yourself? Slither forward onto your stomach. Take a cobra or an up dog. And make your way to downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up. Step it through, low lunge. Heel underneath. Rise to crescent. So find your crescent. Right heel pushes back. Right hip point. Reaching forward. Clasp your hands behind your back. Try to clasp the opposite way if you remember. Open up your heart. One last set of 12 push-ups or whatever else you've got. Ready your body, ready your mind, and then let's go. Maybe this time hands wide, almost like chest press, bench press. Kind of getting really impeded by my furniture and plants here today. Okay, Last set of 12 or whatever you've got. Knees on the floor or not. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Keep breathing. 9, 10, 11, and 12. Drop your knees. Anahatasana. So your hips stay over your knees so that you can really stretch that upper body. Feel your heart beating. Thank your heart. Thank your cardiovascular system. Thank your muscles for all that they do. Slither forward, up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Nice job. Whatever you did, nice job. Lift your right leg up. Bring it through low lunge, and this time drop your left knee. And climb up to your right thigh. If you want to fold your mat under and cushion your knee, go ahead. Sink into your right knee to open up the front of your left leg, that hip flexor. Lift your arms up. Steady your breath. Unclench your jaw. Be brave. Be glorious. Bring your hands down. Tuck your left toes. Lift your left knee. Spin your left foot flat. And rise up, warrior one. Straighten your right leg for a sec. Rebend. It's taking some of the pressure out of your knee or your thigh, if it's there. We don't want to burn ourselves out. We want to be able to continue practicing. All right, a little opening for your stretch, for your shoulders here after all that hard work. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Clasp your palms. Moving into humble warrior. Open your heart. Open your heart to all of the people that you see every day, that you feel are on the other side of things. And open your heart and acknowledge that probably they're trying their best as well. And then bow with humility. Bring your hands off your back and your right shoulder, inside your right knee. Let your head be heavy. Breathe, opening your shoulders, whatever feels good here to you. And then rise back up. Open up, warrior two. Readjust your feet if you need to. Breathe. Stretching your arms out. Equal stretch, front and back. Up to a right angle bend in your knee. And then flip your front palm. Reach forward and swoop into reverse warrior. If you want more shoulder opening, you can slither that, your left shoulder behind your back. Keep your right knee bending forward and your right hand reaching back. And then windmill down. Step back to high plank. And if you want, you can just skip the vinyasa. We did a bunch of push-ups. And lift your hips to the ground, or to the sky rather, downward facing dog. Or you can lower and go through a push-up. It's your choice. Neither is right. It's just what's right for you now. Lift your left leg up into the air. Bring it through, low lunge. Drop your right knee. Untuck your right toes. Crescent moon. First, bring your hands onto your left thigh. And get juicy. Make a choice if you need to roll your mat under to pad your knee a little bit here. And when you're ready, if you're ready, lift your arms up. Nice stretch. Move in. Open up your heart, stretch back. If it feels right and good, come on up. Flip your back foot flat, warrior one. And if it feels like you want to bend your, straighten, and then rebend your left knee, go ahead and do that. This is your practice. How can you be as calm as possible while moving through difficulty? Squeeze your shoulder. Join your hands behind your back. English, please. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Open up your heart. And think about people you know that you're struggling with. Think about people you love. Just open up your heart. Just open up your heart. Maybe allow love come into you. Accept what's been hard to accept, and with humility bow. Left shoulder inside your left knee, letting your hands come up off your back as much as you want. So that might mean as much as you can. That might mean, somewhere between as much as you can and what feels good today. Sometimes the push feels good. But sometimes moderation, not going as far as you can, feels better. Rise up and open to warrior two. Flip around so my back isn't to you guys. I think you can just hear me better that way. Warrior two. Reaching equally into the past, into the future, your body and your mind grounded firmly in the present, which is the only time you have any power to do anything. Flip your left hand, right arm behind your back. Continue opening your shoulder, reverse warrior. So look up if it feels good. Look down if it feels better. Breathe regardless of which you're taking. Stretching left hand away from left knee. Down. Make your way to down dog. So do you want to try a vinyasa again, or do you want to skip it? And make your way to down dog and breathe. Notice how your arms are responding to those push-ups we did. Maybe they feel tired, maybe they feel energized, maybe you don't feel much at all, maybe that wasn't a big challenge for you. So just being aware, right? Being with that, being present with whatever it is. Look in between your hands, step, jump, hop, come to the top of your space, halfway lift, inhale, exhale, forward fold, sweep your arms out, up, overhead, palms together, and pull some celestial energy into your heart. The moon has been so beautiful recently. Inhale your arms up. Utkatasana chair. Fold, fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, step back, high plank. Make your way to downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward, spin your back foot flat. Warrior one. Open. Warrior two. Reach forward. Take extended side angle. So maybe you place your forearm on your thigh. Reach your bicep over your ear and turn your palm toward the ground. And get a nice line of energy from the edge of your left foot through your left fingertips. Maybe you have your hand on the floor or some other version. Reverse your warrior and take it down. Make your way to downward facing dog. So through the vinyasa or just back to downward facing dog. And then when we get to down dog, step your left foot forward, spin your right foot flat. Virabhadrasana 1. Virabhadrasana 2, reach, extend. So wherever your left hand is, maybe on the floor, on the inside or the outside of your left thigh, or your left shin rather, have your right bicep be by your ear, and we'll reach. Reach, reach, reach. Reverse your warrior. Perhaps your hand behind your back again. Make your way down and make your way to dog. So through the vinyasa or leaving it alone. And breathe. Look in between your hands and make your way to the top of your space. Lengthen, fold, chair, stand up, hands to your heart. All right, inhale, your arms up, chair, fold, halfway lift, fold, step back to high plank, make your way to downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward and make a choice whether you want to keep your back knee up or down and rise up to crescent moon or crescent lunge. Bring your hands together at your heart, tilt forward, twist. Bring your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. So you're either working balance in addition to the twist with your back knee up, or maybe you're allowing your body to go into a deeper twist by dropping your back knee. Wherever you are, please breathe. And bring your hands to the inside of your right leg. Drop your right knee if it was not left. Drop your left knee if it wasn't dropped already, runner's lunge. Toe heel your right foot up a bit, top right corner of your mat-ish. Bring your elbows down toward the ground if you can do that, or whatever version of this posture works for you. Let the breath soften you into the posture. Relax your mind, relax your body. Let these big muscles open and release. And if they're giving you pushback, then just thank them and give them a break. Just don't respond just to force, you know. And come on up. And toe heel your foot back a little bit closer to center or towards center. And bend your left knee and reach back with your right hand and grab your left foot. And then push forward again. Open up your left shoulder. Allowing the kick to open. For some people, this is a really intense quad stretch. For me, it is. So we got twisting and balancing, and quad stretching and shoulder stretching. Release. Half splits. Send your hips back. Flex your right foot, straighten-ish your right knee, and walk your hands toward your right foot so that you're continuing to get length. And please breathe. Familiar doesn't mean not challenging, right? And bend your front knee. Plank pose. Keep your left hand and your left foot on the ground. Roll open. Side plank. Right side is lifting. Take whatever version you want here. You can drop your left knee. You can lift your right foot. Whatever you like. Come on back down. And make your way to downward facing dog. So perhaps again you just lift your hips. Maybe you go through the vinyasa. My plant is like attacking my head every time I try to vinyasa, so I don't want to do that actually, and I'll give my arms a little bit of a break. And then lift your left leg up. Step your left leg through. We're going to go into that twist again. So do you want your back knee up or down? Crescent moon or crescent lunge. Hands together, hinge, and twist. I'm going to move away from this plant. It's become quite a monster. I only mean big. It's not mean or anything. Although it is kind of spiky. Twist. Working the balance, working the twist. Maybe this side you want to do something different than the other side. Maybe that's what's right for you today. And then runner's lunge. Hands to the inside of your left foot. Drop your right knee if it wasn't dropped already. And sink. Have patience with your body. Have patience with yourself. Stress shows up in lots of different ways. And, if like me, I know, usually this is class is taught not on the computer, but on campus. So campus is reopening. And that's going to mean a lot to a lot of us. A lot of changes. And there might be a lot of excitement and anticipation, and there might be fear. And there might be some of each, right? And that shows up in so many ways, including physical ways. So give yourself a break. Try to reduce the cortisol, the stress hormone from flowing around your body. Take that twist. So come on up. Bring your foot a little bit more center. Bend your right knee. Reach back with your left hand. And then sink back into your left knee. Roll open. Don't add to the amount of cortisol flowing around in your body. Don't add to your own stress. It's not what yoga is about. It's not helpful. It doesn't better prepare you. It just wears you down. Quad, shoulder, twisting, balancing, breath. Release Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. Be your best supporter. Be your own best friend, not your own worst enemy. Most of us are a lot better at being critics than being kind to ourselves. So, step out of that. Change your mind. Do it differently. Come on back. So we're moving into side plank. If you want to have your right knee on the ground for side plank, keep it on the ground. Otherwise, lift your right knee, step back, roll open. Left side lifts this time. Breath. Right knee down, left leg up. There you are. Left hand down, plank to downward facing dog. All right, you guys. One more standing sequence. Right leg up. Low lunge. Flip around again. Warrior one. Warrior two, straighten your right knee. Reach forward with your right hand, creating length on both sides. We're moving into triangle. Trikonasana. Let the leverage of your bottom hand help your ribs spin open. Right ribs spin under, left ribs open. Heart toward the sky, creating length, breath, space. What blocks your path is your path. Half moon. Bend your right knee. Lift your left leg up. Balance or stand on the block, or hand on a block, hand on your furniture. Step back, warrior two, but then stand up, turn your feet parallel. Tee out your arms, Prasarita Padottanasana. Squeeze your hands, your shoulder blades rather, together behind your back and bow forward. Feet are parallel or pigeon-toed. Or maybe grab your big toes with your hands. And reach back and grab your heels. Let your neck be long, head be heavy. Maybe engaging your quadriceps to let your hamstrings release more. Maybe engaging your stomach to let your back release more. Front of your body, saying, hey back body, I got this. I am taking care of you, I honor you. And then come on halfway up, lengthen. Bring your hands to your hips, inhale, and then, exhale, then inhale, rise up. Sorry, I messed the breath up there. Warrior two, reverse, and bring it down. You know what? Bring it down, but drop your back knee. And let's go into pigeon right here. Do another hip opener later. So toe heel, your right foot across. Or shove it like I did. Drop your back knee. And come on down. We're going to do a nice hold on this. So I'm going to pick up my timer here and put us for 2 minutes. So soften into this. This will be our longest hold for our hip opener. Support your head. If it's not laying on the floor, maybe you stack one fist on top of the other, or maybe you put your head on a block or a pillow. You're at home, grab a pillow. Breathe. So I don't believe that we're in new normal, because I don't think that chaos, I guess in some countries like Afghanistan or permanent war zones, maybe the new normal is a bit of chaos, but that's not our reality here, and hasn't been. Right? So this is a transition, but like we know from yoga, transitions are very, very important. We're at a minute now. One more minute here in pigeon. Transitions are very important. You can get injured in transitions. If you forget to pay attention during the transitions in yoga, you really sort of miss, I don't know how much exactly, a third of the practice. So it's not about just getting there, it's also about being here. And so how do we be here in this weird and crazy time where everything seems to be shifting, and there is no normal? Right? We'll get to the new normal someday, I don't know when. How do you be kind to yourself? All right, you guys, come on up out of this, make your way to downward facing dog. Go through vinyasa. In down dog, lift your right leg up, open up your hip, shake it out a little bit. And then bring your right leg down. Lift your left leg up and bring it through. Low lunge. Spin your back foot flat. Rise. Warrior one. Open. Two. Straighten your left knee. Reach. Triangle. Length on both sides. Left rib cage spinning under. Right hand reaching up. Opening, maybe even allowing your arm to open up back if that feels good. Sinking as low as you can while trying to keep that flatness on both sides. And when you're ready, half moon. Bend your left knee. So you sort of keep your body in that same open position. Bend your left knee, and then straighten it. You want to try to get your torso and your lifted leg parallel to the floor. I'm not sure what I look like, so I might be saying one thing and doing another, but that's what you're trying for. And then come on back. Warrior two. Straighten. And this time let's do groin opener, Skandasana. So you got your, really bend. Your right knee, right leg is kind of straight right now. So really bend deeply into your left knee. And this time, try to keep your left heel on the ground. And just get a nice opening in your right groin. You could keep your right foot flat on the ground, or you can lift up your heel. And we're going to reverse. So some people like to keep their hands on the ground. Others like to take their hand to heart center. Whichever one works for you. As always, neither's more right than the other. One is just going to be more right for you. Come on back. Left side, left knee is bent. Back to right. And then we're going to come back to left, but kind of swivel your body around and turn this into pigeon. So drop your right knee. Bring your left foot over to the right side. Left knee behind left wrist. Come on down. And we're 2 minutes on the clock. Rest your head. So why not? Why not rest your head? This is probably the only time in the day that anybody is going to say to you, rest your head. So how about for the next 1 minute and 40 seconds, you actually do that. Rest your head. Maybe even you roll your head left to right a little bit, massaging your third eye, massaging your forehead on the ground, or your palms, or your fists, or whatever. Thank your hips. Thank your breath. Thank your computer for working. One minute and 1 minute left in this process. Allowing your body to open on its time. Recognizing that this practice is today's practice, and that's all. This practice doesn't make you a professional yogi. This practice didn't demote you from professional yogi. It's just today's practice, that's all. How you're showing up, how your body's showing up, combination of sleep and food and all the stuff. Right? So just coming back to breath. out of head, back to breath. All right, get ready to move out of this posture. So bring your hands under your shoulders, tuck your toes, step back, make your way to down dog. So vinyasa if you want. I think we skipped here. Come on, left foot forward. Just step on up, warrior two, because I somehow skipped this. Flip your left palm. Reverse your warrior. And then windmill your hands down and step your right foot up to meet your left, and then just sit down on the ground. We're going to do back bending. So if you would like to use a block and you have a block, I grab that. We're going to do, let me see the 10. Okay, great. Come into back bend position. So lay down on your back and bring your feet in close to your hips at about hip width distance. And you're going to do 3 either bridge, wheel, or a bit of mix and match. And if you would like, you can use your block, come up into bridge, and just do a supported bridge. But whichever one you're going to do, lift up now. And go. We're going to hold for 5. Push your hips up. 3. Feet driving in. 2. 1. Release. Knock your knees together. So if you want to do wheel, which is, kind of gymnastic back bend, I don't like doing wheel, so I'm not going to demonstrate it, but you would turn your hands upside down by your ears and wherever you are, get ready, go push up. And this time, you're going to hold for 10, 9, 8, find calmness, 6, breathe, push your feet, lift your hips, 2. Don't come out before it's over. Release, knock your knees. Okay, you guys, before we lose our momentum, one more. It's a 15 hold. Make your choice. What's right for you. And come on up. 15. 14. 13. 12. Don't panic. 10. 9. Breathe. 7. Recommit. 5. 4. 3. 2. Hold it. 1 and release. Now bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees go wide. You rock your hips left to right. And place one hand on your heart and one on your belly. Feeling the energy that those postures took. Thanking your heart, thanking your breath, thanking your body. One more hip opener. Bring your feet flat and put your right ankle on top of your left knee. And then lift your left leg up towards your chest. Put your hand through the hole. Grab onto the outside of your left shin. Maybe outside of your left, back of your left quad, your left half thigh. Breathe into your hip opener. Try as best as you can to let your head and your shoulders be on the ground. And then release. Put your left foot back on the floor. Hug your right knee in. Slide your left leg down and turn this into a spinal twist. So bring your right knee across your body. Tee your right arm out, look right. enjoy laying on the floor, breathing, letting your body's weight and gravity's pull help you deepen this pose. Back center. Put your right foot on the floor. Cross your left ankle on top of your right knee. And then lift your right leg. Put your hand through the hole. Grab onto shin or thigh. And breathe. So we did runner's lunge, which is a hip opener. We did pigeon, which is a hip opener. And now we're doing this. So just see whether you notice any difference. See whether you are like, oh, I didn't even know those were hip openers. Just whatever. Really, the invitation is to be present with yourself and your experience, not to create stress or confusion. Release, spinal twist. Hug your left knee in, right leg flat, and then guide your left knee to the right side. Tee out your left hand and look left. Simple. Simple doesn't mean easy. It just means it doesn't need to be complicated. Notice if you have a tendency to overcomplicate things, many people do. And then come on back center and release. Final resting pose, Shavasana, laying on your back. So we've got 2 good minutes before it's even 1 o'clock here. Lay on your back and rest. Let this rest be real. When you notice the next thing to do coming up in your mind, acknowledge that and know that you have 1.5 minutes before you need to do it. And come back to your rest. May be stressful things going on in your life, in the world, in the lives of people you care about. But this particular moment doesn't need to be about any of those things. This particular moment could be about breath and laying on the floor with your eyes closed. One more minute. Nothing is a distraction. Everything is a reference to this present moment. Roll your fingers and toes. Maybe roll on to one side, or maybe rock and roll to make yourself come to a seated position. And when you get to seated for a moment, keep your energy directed inward, so close your eyes, perhaps look down. And I've thrown out a whole bunch of things you might be grateful for, so pick one of them or anything else that comes to your mind. And breathe into gratitude and send out gratitude. Know that this is a place you can come back to anytime. You have created the space you're in right now, and I hope that I was able to guide you into a nice and calm space. If it's anything but that, recognize that you are the one that actually created it. So I hope you recognize this calmness. I hope you were guided to calmness. And I hope you know that this is something you can recapture at any time. And largely it's through our breath. Thank Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week. Namaste. Again, questions and comments are welcome and encouraged. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope to see you guys again on the mat.